In this video, I am going to be showing you the decimal strategy. So if you want to know more about what that is, stick around and I'll show you what it is. But before that, I want to show you a couple of patterns that I saw whilst I was doing those other calculations. So I'm just going to show you some patterns before we go on to the decimal strategy. Okay, so in this video, we're only going to be using the lunchtime results. We're not going to be using the tea time results. Okay, so the first one goes like this. It involves the the first number from the lunchtime draw and the fifth number from the previous lunchtime draw, assuming that you want to get a banker for this draw. Okay, so you're going to say 16 plus 31 equals to 47, and then you're going to say 2 plus 37, you get 39. That means 1 plus 43 equals to 44, which is our first banker for the day. Then we move on to the second pattern. So the second pattern goes like this. It involves the first number and the third number in numerical order. So you're just going to add them together. 10 plus 17, you get 27. 16 plus 27, you get 43. That can be split into 34. And then 2 plus 34, you get 36. That can be split into a 39. So meaning, if you say 1 plus 17, you're going to get 18. So 18 is our next banker for the day. Now we are going to move on to the next one. So now we are done with the patterns. I'm now going to show you the decimal strategy. So guys, this is a new strategy that I haven't shared on this channel before. And please do not skip the video, okay? Please do not skip, because if you skip, you won't be able to understand. Because last week I posted a strategy. Many people understood it, but there were some people that didn't understand. And I believe that the people that didn't understand, maybe they fast forwarded the video, to save time and all that. But if you really want to understand my strategies, you need to have patience. You need to watch it from the first minute to the last minute. That's the only way you can understand. Okay, great. I hope I have explained myself better in that regard. Now we can move on to the decimal strategy. So the decimal strategy involves the fourth number. It involves the fourth number, the fifth number, and the sixth number in numerical order. So the first step you are going to do, you are going to combine these numbers and make it into one number, which is, it is going to be 313,000. Okay, let me just write it before I read it out. So it's going to be 313,741. That's going to be the new total. Okay? And then you're going to divide this total by 4,56. Why are we dividing by 4,56? Because we are using the fourth, fifth, and sixth number. Hence the reason it's called the decimal strategy. So now you are going to you are going to divide those answers. You're going to divide it together. And to do this, I would recommend you I would recommend you using a calculator. Okay, if you use a calculator, it'll give you proper results. Like if you have a calculator or if you have a Huawei phone, Huawei, whatever, however it's pronounced, that'll also give you correct answers. I'm saying this because when I was doing these calculations with my other phone, it didn't give me accurate answers. So I discovered that if you use a calculator or a Huawei phone, you'll get good answers because it's very, very important. And I'm going to show you why. So when you divide it together, when you divide this, you're going to come up with a total of, okay, so your total is going to give you a very long number. So the most important or the important numbers in this answer that you're going to get is the answer before the comma. So the answer before the comma is 68. Let me write this properly. 68,802. So that is the important part of this answer. And then the next important part of this answer is your last three digits. Your last three digits are important. So the last three digits, if this calculation is done properly, should give you 298. So those are your last three digits. Let me write this properly so that I can explain the next step. So 68,802, that was our first important number. Then the last one I said 298. So now these are your codes. These are your codes. And to break this code, you to break the first part, which is the answer before the comma, if you focus on the last two digits of the code, you get a number. And then for this one where I said the last three digits of the answer after the comma is important. And if you can look at the first two digits, you get a number. So if you were to combine the strategy that I showed you in the beginning and this one, you are going to come up with four numbers. All right, because I told you guys, I said this year our target is five numbers, four numbers. Okay, so I hope I explained this nicely. So now we are going to move on to the next example. I'm speaking slowly so that everybody can understand. Usually I speak very quickly, so yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody understands. So the next example is this one where we have to combine all the numbers together. All right, so it's 374,347 divided by 4,56. Okay, so let's do that now. So let's say 374,347 divided by 4,56 equals to, so let's write the answer nicely. So I said we have to, the important when it comes to getting the answer after you did that calculation, the important part is the number before the comma, or the answer before the comma, which is 82 1,093. That is the first part before the comma. And then the last part, the most important part, is the number or the last three digits after the comma, okay? Which in this case, it's 719. If you do your calculations properly, 719 should be your last three digits after the comma, okay? Great. So if you look at the last two digits, you get a 93. But if you spin that 93, it becomes a 39. All right. And then if you go to the last three digits, if you focus on the first two digits, you get a 71. And then if you spin this 71, it becomes a 17. And then since this number is above 49, we have to consider 7 and 1 as bankers. And out of the two, they brought 1. Okay? That's easy. That's easy enough. All right. Now we're going to go to today's calculations. Okay. So if you combine this strategy, so if you say 300, okay, so after you combine it, your answer should be, or your combined number should now be 394,149. So you're going to divide this by 4.56, which should give you, let me see. So the answer, it should give you, before the comma, is 86,436. And then the last three digits should be 631. So if you look at the first two or the last two digits, it's a 36. So you get 36. And then if you focus on the first two digits, you get 63. You get 63. And if you look closely, what you call this? If you look closely, this number is above 49. So we're going to consider them as bankers, which are 6 and 3. So yeah, we have 36, 6, and 3. All right. So those are the numbers I have for you. Those are the numbers I have for you. And this is the strategy that I wanted to show you. It's not really new to me. It's new to you guys because this is one of my strategies that I use on a daily basis when I'm coming up with bankers. I just haven't shared this one with you guys. So this is one of my strategies that I use every now and then. So hopefully this strategy will bless us with a lot of wins. And yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. And hopefully we win today. And also, if you didn't understand, you can simply rewind the video, go back to the part you didn't understand, and listen again and listen attentively, and I'm sure that you will understand. And if you did understand the video, please let me know in the comments. It really helps me a lot because if my goal is, if you guys understand, I'm happy. That is my goal. That is my aim. Because if you guys understand, I'm happy. I'm happy. All right. If you don't understand, also let me know in the comments. And for those of you that wants to receive or get daily predictions from me, you can simply WhatsApp me on this line here. 064 059 1138. can simply WhatsApp me on that line, and then yeah, you can we can talk more about that. And also, if you want to join, if you want to buy the book from me, you can also WhatsApp me on this line as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.